also submit tickets through the Alloy Navigator self-service portal that you get. All right. So as you can see, when an end user signs into the portal, you can see that they're met with a dashboard of their own, where they can see their latest updates for their tickets. They can see their existing tickets that are shortlisted here. Right. There are other areas for browsing the knowledge base, taking care of their own approvals. But ultimately, as you can see here, they can come here and submit a ticket right here through the portal. Now, when they go to begin typing here to submit a summary of a ticket, they are met with some suggested articles, provided, of course, that the articles that you've added into the application are related to what they're inputting. Right. So as you can see, we began typing how to, and this gives us a list of some of our how to articles, right? Which, of course, the end user can click, and it'll open the article up for them in its entirety. And then, of course, they can review the article, indicate whether or not it was helpful, and then they go on their merry way. Now, in the event that the article doesn't exist, they can proceed with submitting the summary here. All right. Now, what's pretty neat about the Alloy, what's pretty neat about Alloy Navigator as well is that their search results, even if they do perform searches here in the portal, will always be tracked. There's a report that you can actually run to pull search results. All right. So we're going to go on ahead and fill this in here. You can see that they can fill in the description. Right. Also, we'll say we need to update Adobe Reader on my computer. Now, this description is HTML as well, so they can actually use rich text. They can use hyperlinks. Right. They can put images directly in line with their text. So this way, you don't have to worry about images being stripped the same way they're not stripped via email. They can specify a category of the ticket. And what's cool is that you can actually route these tickets based on the category that's selected. So if you know who's going to be dealing with software-related issues, you can have it so that it automatically assigns the ticket to that technician or to that team. All right. Additionally, you'll notice here that 2 of these fields are required, as indicated with this red asterisk. And these fields are not. So we'd actually be able to complete this form without filling these fields in. Now, you'll also notice here that the end users have the capability, by default, of course, to set the priority of the ticket. All right. Now, this priority value actually plays into your SLA timeframes. All right. The idea is that if you have a contractual SLA, or perhaps you just have standards that you would like your team to uphold, the idea is that this sets the due date for the ticket once it's ultimately submitted. All right. So a ticket of a low priority may have a due date that's 5 days out, whereas a ticket of a high priority may have a due date that's 10 hours out. Right. It's entirely up to you. You do get an SLA time frame out of the box, so there are default values that will be set. But the administrator of your application can adjust this through the settings app. Same way they can adjust the categories through the settings app and the priorities. All right. But that, now that we've got a ticket here entered into the application, the end user can track the progress of the ticket through here. They'll be able to update and provide feedback or updates on the ticket as well through here. And of course, they get an email notification as well. But that's how your end users could go about submitting a ticket through the self-service portal using that new ticket action. And keep in mind as well, as administrators of the software, you'd be able to, if you wanted to, add additional buttons here when they go to submit a ticket. You can almost provide somewhat of a catalog. But that's how your end users would go about submitting issues through the portal.